can make you weak. There are so many things in this world that can bring you down and that can keep you in a box just to be a sinner. And you will never grow. You will never, just evolve. You'll just be stuck in one place. And you wonder why your life is just filled with turmoil, wickedness, tragedy. You have broken relationships everywhere. You can't even, you don't have no friends. Your family hates you. You ain't got no friends. The woman that you're with, the man that you're with, don't even like you. They halfway outside the door to leave you. Okay, but anyway, faith, man, like that's what that man had, and that's something that we have to have as well, because faith without works is dead. If you start to lose faith, you better make sure that you get counsel. You better find a way to strengthen your faith. If your faith is on E, you better figure out a way to get that shit back in full. All right, that's what you want to do. Make sure that zeal is up here. There are going to be days that you're going to feel like, damn, I don't feel like I ain't doing enough. I don't know. I got my own problems, blah, blah, blah. You are going to have to check and correct that. It will come. It's going to happen. But now you are going to have to fight through that. Okay? You are going to have to fight through that. Don't get comfortable and do not get complacent. Because the moment that you get comfortable and complacent, here comes Satan. Satan is going to be in your ear, in your head. Okay, but anyway. All right, moving on. Let me see here. Let me see. All right, let me see here. Also, too, as far as that precept, that cuts water baptism, by the way. That completely cuts water baptism because that water did not heal him. The faith that man had was what healed him. Okay? That's what healed him. All right? Imagine that. Like water baptism is such a big controversy topic, but nah. That water was not really what's healing them. The angel is really what was healing them. The Most High was healing them, right? But of course, through Yahushua, our King, that man was healed because of his faith and him listening to Christ. All right. Let me see here. Also, too, if you notice in that same story, brotherhood was lacking because this man said that no one is able to take me into the pool. Everyone is stepping over me. Because honestly, a real brother, they would have got everybody else who was not able to get themselves up into that pool, they would have carried that brother into that pool first, and then they would have got in last. That's how we do it. All right? Everybody comes first, and then we're last. Like that's how you want to see it. That's how you want to treat it. You brothers, you sisters, man. It's not always about you. Focus on someone else besides yourself. Get out of your head. It's not all about you. Everybody else has problems too. Someone that has a problem worse than yours. It's not always about you. All right. So let's make sure that we keep that brotherhood and sisterhood strong and not lacking. All right. Let's go to Luke chapter 23, verse 31. All right, so Luke chapter 23, verse 31. Actually, you know what? Let's go to verse 28. Okay. Once again, if anybody got any questions or concerns, go ahead and type it into the chat. All right. Don't be shy, man. And by the way, if y'all ain't studying, y'all ain't got no questions. If you ain't got no questions, you ain't studying. Okay? All right, but moving on. Luke chapter 23, verse 28. But Yahushua turning unto them said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. So now this is the story. Like this chapter is getting into what is about to happen to Christ. Christ is about to be unalive. He's about to be crucified, right? He's about to be be crucified. And now, as this is happening to him, as they are, disarming him, everybody is like, oh my God, like Christ, like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So people are upset at what's about to happen to Christ, right? So he says, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. I want y'all to listen to this, right? It's very, very important. He's saying, like, look, don't weep for me, don't cry for me, but cry for yourselves and for your children. He's telling them something. Okay? Verse 29. For behold, the days are coming in the which they shall say, blessed are the barren. So barren means a woman whose, I believe, womb that is closed up, meaning that she cannot have children. Okay? There are some women that are not able to get pregnant because their womb is barren, it's closed up. All right? Seed is not able to reach the egg, so the womb is closed. And the wombs that never bear. Oh, that's a lot. Let me see something. Let me see. Hold on. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bear. So blessed are the barren. I think in this sense it's speaking about food, if I'm not mistaken. And the wombs that never bear. And the paps which never gave suck. Okay. Verse 30. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So, Christ is speaking Christ is speaking in the metaphor. He's saying, like, look, weep for yourselves and for your children, because what's about to come, what's about to happen is going to be far more worse than what's happening to me. All right? And when it says, for if they do these things in a green tree, what shall they do in the dry? So he's saying, so it's giving an example of if these bad, terrible things are going to happen here, it can happen. It's going to happen anywhere. So, like, for example, right? How can I explain that? For example, if you think about it, let me see. Okay, we know that sometimes there have been moments in history, in life, like, for example, like Black and Hispanic people being unalive on video camera. There was a whole span of years, like ever since Trayvon Martin, it seemed like back to back, all these things just kept happening. And it was just like everybody was just so astonished, so shocked that this was happening. But it's like, why are you surprised? You know what I mean? Because it was happening before the cameras were off or not around. So he's saying, for if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So if it's done in the light, you don't think it's going to be done in the dark? You know what I mean? So like, if it's done in the dark, you don't think it's going to be done in the light where everybody can see? Like, he's using this as a metaphor. Okay? And he's saying, like, look, weep for yourselves and your children, because right now, what are we doing? We're weeping for ourselves and our children. Why is that? Because we are in hell. We are losing each other. We are losing each other in the most heinous, uncivilized way you can think of. We are unaliving each other. We are being unalived by the other nations. We are being attacked on every side. Like no matter what's going on in the earth, there's always time to hate a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. When the Palestinians were getting bombed, they still had time to hate you. So, like, the same thing with the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians jumped black people out there in Ukraine trying to get on the train. They were harming nobody. Trying to get on the train, and Ukrainians were trying to beat them half to death to get them off of the trains while they are being bombed by Russia. So yes, weep for yourselves and weep for your children. Your children are going to not make it to 18. They're not going to make it to 1. They're not going to not even come out the womb. You want to know why? Because straight bullets. You know, this one story that's very traumatizing. This one sister, she had a Twitter beef with a female. Mind you, she was pregnant. She had to be like 7, 8 months pregnant. And she went to go meet up with this girl to fight this girl while she was pregnant. And somehow somebody had a gun. And the gun had went off. And the bullet had went into this woman's stomach. She lost her child. And she got locked up for it. Because child endangerment. And I believe they ruled it as a homicide as well. Imagine that. You have a Twitter beef. You go to fight somebody. First of all, where the hell is the man at that got you pregnant? Because if she had a man, she would not be in that situation. If she had a man, not a boy, not a male, but a man, she would say, hey, sit your ass down somewhere. You're pregnant. Why do you want to fight when you are pregnant? Because what if somebody were to hit the child and she fell the wrong way? But what's worse that happened is a bullet had hit the baby inside her stomach and the baby's gone. We are in hell. Christ said, weep for yourselves and for your children. Good night. I mean, that is absolutely insane. All right. Anyway, let me keep going. And also, too, you have to think about this, right? In the book of Luke, we were in our own land. So when Christ says, for if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So if you can do this in your own place, in your own city, in your own country, this place that the Most High gave you, where you have your language, your culture, your customs, tradition, your culture, like you have everything. And if you do this in your hometown, in your place of inhabitants, what difference is it going to make when you do it somewhere else, like in captivity, like you're doing right now? Christ said, once again, man, weep for yourselves, weep for your children, because it's going to be a lot of tears. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed. It's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of graves, a lot of bodies. Don't weep for him, man. As you know, Christ is Tuah. He's waiting for you to get your act together. He's waiting. Because Christ said, look, I'm not going to drink until I drink with my brothers, man. And Christ is not here. But once Christ gets here, man, he wants to have a drink with his brothers because of this victory. That's going to come. Us having the kingdom. But we can't get the kingdom if we are trying to fight while we're, pregnant and getting hit by straight bullets. And we're shooting up the block and hitting innocent bystanders. We're selling drugs to our mothers, our aunties, our children, and to the people over us who are older than us. We're flooding a whole community with poison. Like somebody's death. Your life depends on somebody else's death when you sell drugs. And you getting high and just doing drugs, like the kingdom is never going to be here. Never. It's never going to be here until you fix yourself. All right. All right, moving on. Let me see. I think that was it on that. Okay. And also, too, you want to thank the wicked leadership as well. Like we have to beat the odds. And beating the odds is coming into the ISUPK. The ISUPK, I've seen what it has done for brothers and sisters. And for those that leave, I still see what it has done for brothers and sisters. But there are some people who are too in love with their lust. And because they're too infatuated with that lust and that desire, they can't be around here. Satan got a hold on them. Them demons got a hold on them. But yet, they can never say that the IHBK has not treated them good. A lot of people will lie and say that the IHBK was terrible to them. But where's the proof? And they usually always say that because they're mad and upset at somebody or multiple people. They didn't like the way that they got checked or corrected. So I guess it's F the IHBK, this brother, that sister, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But this school has saved many lives. And those that are still walking around that left this school, that are still very much alive, they could be easily gone if the Lord wanted it. But the Most High is showing them mercy because maybe they just might, say, this world ain't for me. I made a mistake. I left. I was being emotional. I was wrong. And a lot of them do come back. Ironically, a lot of them do come back and they apologize. They become shamefaced. Some of them, not all. Some people are too prideful and they die in their pridefulness. Okay, let's get on. Let me see here. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Where should we go next? I just had it too. All right, y'all bear with me real quick. If anybody got any questions or concerns, go ahead and please type it into the chat. All right. All right. All right. Let's get John chapter 13, verse 34. Okay. Now, I brought this out last week, but I want to bring this out once again, okay? Just to expound on the point. All right, give me 1 second. All right. All right, so John chapter 13, verse 33. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. Ye shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, whither I go, ye cannot come, so now I say to you. So now Christ is explaining to the disciples, right? And he's calling them little children because they're still young. All right, they're still young, they're still in training. They're still trying to, figure this out, grasp all this knowledge and wisdom. So when he says, little children, yet a little while I am with you, he's saying, I am with you for a time. And when he says, ye shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, whether I go, ye cannot come. So although when they try to look for Christ to seek him, he's not going to be nowhere to be found. Okay, he's not going to be nowhere to be found at all. All right, because he's going to be unalive soon, and he's going to be with the Most High at his right hand, at his right side of his throne. So ye cannot come. So now I say unto you, verse 34, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So once again, I spoke about this last week, but I'm bringing it out again because it's very important on what it means to love each other. To love each other is to be there for one another. Like, when are we going to get to the point where we don't turn on each other, where we are not crabs in a barrel? Because that's all you see right now in the entertainment world. I mean, really in any world. In the hood, someone's trying to be better than the other. Someone's always trying to, just trying to stunt on each other. Like, that's not love. Like, look, hey, if I got it, you got it. That should be the spirit. If I got it, you got it. You ain't got $10, but I got $10. bro, you got $10 now because I got it. So what's mine is yours. Okay? Like if you ain't got no food, but I got food, yes, we got food. Don't worry about it. Like we have to have that mentality where we consider one another, where we have that type of, what is called unit cohesion. Unit cohesion is another word of saying some type of unity with each other. We don't have empathy. That is something that lacks terribly in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. It's always about you and nobody else. We have to stop being selfish. In the ISUPK, you are not allowed to be selfish. It's not about you. It's about somebody else. Stop being selfish and consider someone else's pain and suffering. It's not always about you. All right? Shalom, no Christ. How you doing, sir? So it's not always about you. You want to consider somebody else and have empathy. Once again, you're not allowed to be selfish in here. All right? Hey, go ahead. You had a question? To love each other is to correct one another. Yeah, to love each other is to correct one another in a decent, professional manner. Damn right. Absolutely. Okay? And also, too, let's get another precept real quick. All right, let's get it. So yeah, you had a question. Go ahead. All right, otherwise I'm gonna keep going. So let's get Hebrews chapter 13, verse. Let's start at 16. Let me get there with y'all. 13 chapter 16. All right, okay. All right. So Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, God is well pleased. Now, this is something else that we have to understand. Communication is very, very important. Okay? If you're not communicating, how does anybody know anything? You have to communicate. Always. The good, the bad, the ugly. You always have to report on any and all things. All right? Don't just report on, what you think is important. No, talk about all of it. That's why we have what is called major councils. Or we have weekly check-ins. You have to report on the progress of what's going on. Once again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what you must do. Because you have to somebody takes an account for your life. You have to answer to somebody. So verse 17, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls. Right? So obey them that have the rule over you. Obey just means, most times, that's solid. Obey them that have the rule over you, meaning be obedient. Be obedient, meaning listen, hearken to that man. All right? You brothers and sisters out there who have a camp leader, who's someone that you report to, you want to hearken unto that man. You want to obey them. All right? But now, of course, if it's something out of order, that's a different story. You want to make sure that you report that. But otherwise, you want to obey those that have rule over you, those that watch over you, that take care of you, that consider you, okay? Because they have your best interests. Meanwhile, you want to get counsel from, your friends in the world, your girlfriends, and they telling you to leave your man. Some of you sisters out there are just silly in the mind. You're listening to the wrong people. You're getting wise counsel from the wrong people, or you're getting counsel from the wrong people. All right? Let's keep going. And submit yourselves, meaning be submissive. Join yourself to these people and just listen. For they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief. Once again, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account. And I, as UPK, we are responsible for each other. That's brotherhood and that's sisterhood. Once again, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about all of us. All right. And once again, we are responsible for each other. If something happens to you, happens to all of us. That's the spirit. That's how you have to look at it. And once again, too, even your oppressor knows that. And how does he know that? Because he don't look at you as an individual. The Most High don't look at you as an individual. Because mind you, every time we went into captivity, were we all disobeying the Most High? Absolutely not. But because, the Most High's mercy ran out because of all the wickedness that was going on, we all had to suffer behind someone else's actions. So when you decide to sell drugs, it doesn't just affect you. It affects your entire community. Because homes are being destroyed. Families are broken. You had a 2-parent household go from a 2-parent household to no household at all. Because the children don't have parents because one's a drug addict, one's a drunk, and then the child becomes a criminal. Or just lives on the street, living a reckless, disgusting life, or is in prison. All behind drugs. You can't tell me that's not our communities right now. Like the things that go on the reservation is very sad. It's terrible, man. All the stories that we hear about, I'm talking about the stats of sexual violations that be going on, assaults, drug use, substance abuse. The numbers get high and higher. Okay? So once again, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account. Somebody out there actually gives a damn about you. And you should give a damn about yourself. And you should, be proud of that because somebody wants better for you. So you should do better. If you know better, do better. It doesn't make sense to go back to your old self. Your old self is the problem. It's the reason why you are in hell the way you are right now. It's the reason why we are in captivity. All right? It's the same reason why we are in captivity. And once again, I always say that the ISUPK is like a piece of heaven in this hell. It's a piece of paradise. It's a little sneak peek to, what the kingdom is going to be when it's here. But in order for the kingdom, for us to have it, you have to want it. You have to fight for it. Okay? You're not enduring to the end if you're, still smoking. If you're still, messing around with promiscuous women. If you are a sex worker, what are you enduring? Nothing. You are giving in to your lust, to your demons. You ain't battling. You are being slaughtered. You are just taken advantage of and just giving it to your lust. That's what's happening. All right? But only in the ISUPK, I can't speak for anybody else outside of this sanctuary. But only in the ISUPK is this place where it fixes people. I'm talking about it fixes the most disgusting people that you've ever seen in your life and turn them into something precious, something glorious. All right? Because all of us used to live terrible lives, worthy of death. But because of Christ, we have another shot at life. And I would not, take it for granted. Because just easily, you can be out of here. It's nothing. If the Most High wanted you out of here, you'll be gone. All right? Next time you decide to, smoke anything, do any type of drugs, it can be your last day, your last time. Play with your life if you want to. You will find it in your hands. Okay? All right, anyway, let's keep going. As they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief. Like, once again, man, like, There are brothers out there and people out there who really care for you, who love you, and they do it with joy, not with grief. When they give an account for you, they want a good report. They don't want no bad report. They don't want to hear no excuses. They don't want to hear about how you backslide. You went back to that woman that whored on who whored on you. You went back to the drugs. You went back to those brothers on the block that had you slinging dope. Nobody wants to hear that. We want to hear the progress of how you are fighting against the thing that has been fighting you all your life. That's been trying to unalive you all your life. That's what we want to hear. And we do it with joy. All right? We want to see you get raised up as a brother, as a sister. We want to see you get those praises. Okay? Let's keep going. Let me see. Where we at? 17? All right. For that is unprofitable for you. Right. Once again, it is unprofitable for you. All right. Let me see. I like this one right here, verse 18. Pray for us, for we trust we have a good conscience, in all things willing to live honestly. So what's very important about this is imagine living a life where you don't have to look over your shoulder. Because in the book of Deuteronomy, when it speaks about how your life will hang in doubt day and night, you're literally looking over your shoulder because you're thinking about if someone is out to get you, the police, them niggas on the corner, your enemies, your ops, whatever you want to call it, the law, child support, whatever. You got all these things on your mind, plaguing your mind because you are in hell. Imagine living a life honestly, where you just live a life of freedom. You are free from all the lies. You're free from all the devices that you have seen in your environment. Imagine that. That's a lot. And you can find it in the ISUPK, but you got to put in the work. The laws ain't grievous, but you still got to put in the work. You're going to have to muscle your way to get what you want because faith without works is dead. Okay? All right, so let's see here. All right, so let's go ahead and get another precept, one more precept before we get out of here. I didn't realize the time was moving so damn fast. Let's see. Let me get it. I want to go into Matthew real quick. Yeah, bear with me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love this precept right here. All right. So I want to drive this point out. I was trying to grab this precept last week, but we ran out of time. But this is going to be our last one. All right. So Matthew chapter 9, verse 10. And it came to pass, as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. Verse 11. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners? Now, you want to look at the Pharisees as your religious leaders right now, your Christian pastors, because they say they know the Bible, they know the law, but in honesty, they really don't. Okay, all they know is how to rob and steal, and that's those 30%, tithes, which that's not in the Bible, mind you. Right, so the Pharisees saw that these publicans and sinners were sitting with Christ and the disciples, and they asked the question like, why are you eating with these publicans and sinners? Okay, verse 12. But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. So he's giving them game, but checking them at the same time. He's saying, look, these publicans and sinners, they are sick, so they need someone to give them medicine. And Christ is the one who was prescribing that medicine as he was walking this earth. Okay? And of course, the Pharisees always had some type of malicious intentions against Christ. All right, that's why he always knew what to say. You know, also too, the Bible says that you want to. Now I'm paraphrasing where it says, I'm paraphrasing, but you want to be able to answer every question and every man. Paraphrasing, okay? And also too, be seasoned with salt, right? You want to be, you want to be seasoned with your words. Verse 13. But go ye and learn what that meaneth. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I am not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. And that was hardcore because he said, look, they that be whole and need not a physician, but they that are sick. So that's the first part, right? Of the checking. What he said, but go ye and learn that what that meaneth, and I will have mercy. Like, look, do with that as you will. All right. So take that information I just gave you and move along and do as you will with that. But I will have mercy and not sacrifice. That's right. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I am not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance. Because what we do in ISUPK, where do we go? Where do you always see us? We are in the most terrible parts of the earth, in the ghettos, in the slums, because that's where the sinners are. That's where the people who are sick. If you're telling me a Black, Hispanic, Native Indian person who is, outside, living outside on the street corners, they ain't sick, them off drugs, they ain't sick, that's who we go to get them off of that. We go to those that are sick, not the ones that are healed. Those that are healed, I mean, what can we do with them? They got work to do. But meanwhile, those that are sick, we have to help them out. And also, too, in the Bible speaks about how we have to defend the father and the fatherless. That's the last one I want to get to. And that's the point that Christ was trying to let the Pharisees know. And once again, a lot of you out there are Pharisees. You just don't know it. Some of your actions are just like the Christians. You are no different. All right? Let me see. And let me put it in a nutshell what Christ was doing. Let me see. Y'all bear with me real quick. All right, here we go. Let's get Psalms chapter 82, verse 3. 82:3. All right, so this is what Christ was doing in a nutshell. Just like every prophet and priest, that was doing, that was a man of the Lord. Psalms chapter 82, verse 3. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Now, this is what separates us from your politicians, from your pastors and bishops and deacons. Because I've never in my life, ever, in my short time being on this earth, I've never seen the Christian church or the Muslim mosque ever give back to the poor or the needy. They are the ones that are very greedy, as if they are the poor and the needy, when they are not. They are very much full and fat and gluttonous, right? Because once again, like where the hell did 30% tithes come from? That's not in the Bible. That's of man. Defend the poor and fatherless. You have to be there for those that are in need. That's what brotherhood is. That's why the Most High has a holy convocation called the Feast of First Fruits, where you take a portion, a tenth of your crops, of your harvest, and you give it to those in the outskirts of your cities. So those that do not have a home, those that do not have all the money in the world, that are less fortunate. Like that is the Lord, man. You can't tell me that this is not. I'm like when I read this, I see One West. That's what it is, because that's what we do. And then all the food and clothing drives because no one was out there to help out the migrants out there in New York, but the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That's it. Nobody else but us. Your pastor, and as you know, there's a church on every corner. But yet they did not use none of those tithes to get those brothers and sisters and children off the streets. So defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. How many times have we seen on camera a pastor and preacher, being very disgusting towards the brothers and sisters who are out on the streets? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense because they don't have the spirit of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord is to take care of your people. Verse 4, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Don't cause them more hell than what they're already in. It's bad enough that we already got the oppressor's foot on our necks, but you're going to add more to it? Damn. We already in hell. What we should do is lessen the hell and figure out how to get back to our seat, because we lost our seat. We lost our power. We lost all of authority in this earth. But damn, you're gonna sell me drugs to kill myself even more? You're gonna try to unalive me more? It doesn't make sense, man. You're gonna steal from me? We have to have empathy. We have to consider one another, because at the end of the day, we got in our communities. All over the earth, Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, we are all near to each other. In every aspect or any scenario, we are always near to each other. We got. Because everybody else is sucking us dry, eating us alive, to be exact. That's why this brotherhood and sisterhood is very important. We can't allow lies and gossip and offenses to separate us, because that is going to keep us away from the prize, the reward, the blessing that we are trying to get and receive, which is the kingdom. We are going through these curses, but we're trying to get to the blessings. And it would make more sense to get to the blessings if we will fight against all the devices that our oppressors throwing at us. All right? So with that being said, I imagine which means to stand. All right, security announcements. We got an IHP case out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21 is where you can find it. Also, Malachi chapter 3, 8 to 10 means sent in the Hebrew, Ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. So once again, we are a month and a day away from Passover, April 20th. But of course, we want to get there by the 17th or the 18th. We got a couple of events happening beforehand, all the way up until that Sunday, all right? Make your arrangements, talk to your camp leader, make sure your money is, being stacked up. Be wise, be disciplined, pay that Passover fee, $200. Per person, 17 and up. Children are free. Okay. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, they start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That being said, Wapani Akudam, which means face the east, we are going to get into the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawi, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'ah, Rakazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakaza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamaya, Nathalanawa, Lakum, Ko, Yawam, Basalakanawa, Kawakanawa, Kasalakanawa, Kawakanawa, Wala'a, Taba'anawa, Wanasaya one, Abo, Hawashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Ka, Hamlakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'akapara, La'olami, Aman, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. Bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Barak Manaw, Vayasha'al, Wahapayah, Saparian, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magun, Hagun. Say the name of loved ones once. Everyone repeats the name once. For those on social media, if you have a loved one that you want to pray for, type their name in the chat. Otherwise, those in the room, they begin. Doobie, Denzel, Lil Carl, Jakar, Jonah, Isabella, Janie, Kendrea, your pop, all of Israel. All right, let's see. Let's chart real quick. All of UPK. ISUK Minnesota. Desiree Davis. The Davis family. All of Israel. Kawan Ya'ala. Kunaya. Kanagabar. All of Israel. Israelite School UPK. All those dead in Israel. May they rise again. Bashem Yahushua, Tawala Aman. In the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Yasha'Allah.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Yasha'Allah.
In the school.
Bless,
heal, shield, protect, loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now. See evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, like prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, in the school. See evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter thy sanctuary. The evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments are our enemies, everlasting synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Haskamataz, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, works of witchcraft, national space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, in airways, the cable access channel, in the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of our people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, but try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth, to lose all the places, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel, From down to flying saucers. Punish all the evils that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause we know by all that it's the angel that done it. Cause them to spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. Or sorry, which means to turn in Hebrew. All right, men of Israel, my Shabbat and Majid. Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Barak. That's my top. Courtesy salute for the sisters, men of Israel, my Shabbat and Majid. Absalom. Yeah, Majid. Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahushua. Yah's my top. Class dismissed. All right, y'all. Give me a second here. All right, Shalom, Israel.
The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yohana is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.